Well, good morning, everyone. What a wonderful Thursday morning it is. Quite the day for the Lions news. And whoop-de-doo, we have two replacements for injured left tackle Taylor Decker. So, our two guys, of course, if you're listening to this video, you've probably already heard the Lions went out and they traded a sixth-round pick for offensive tackle Greg Robinson, former second overall pick, and he in his career he started 40 out of 44 games. Not bad in terms of experience, kind of the thing we're looking for. Not perfect, but he can fill in. One thing that I was reading is that in his first 10 games he was penalized 12 times. Geez, that's a lot. But it's something that the Lions are going to have to deal with. And this prior offseason, the Rams went out and they said, we're going to go and we're going to move him around. So at first they said he was going to play guard, and then they said he was going to be playing right tackle. They declined his fifth-year option, and lo and behold, sixth-round pick later, here's Greg Robinson heading to Detroit today. The second guy, of course, that the Lions signed, well, they made a few moves today, but these are the two big ones. The Lions signed Cyrus Kouangio, I think you say his name, or something like that. Wild name. I'll learn how to say it once he plays. The guy is a physical freak. He's 6'7", 320 pounds. He was a second-round pick in the 2014 draft, the same year as Greg Robinson. So the Lions got two top picks from that draft. He was an All-American in 2013. And in his career, he started 7 games out of 25. So he was suited for 25. And he started 5 last year. And he wasn't bad. He had to fill in for Cordy Glenn. I live in Toronto, so I know quite a bit about the Bills as well, given that everyone here tends to cheer for them. And yeah, I watched some Bills games and I see that he wasn't bad. I never really recognized him per se. I'm not gonna lie to you, but that's the best thing with an offensive lineman is don't recognize them. One of the big issues with him, of course, is that he was arrested around 2 months ago in late April for public nudity or some crazy thing like that. I think he was drunk and he was like running around some kind of public place naked. The police arrested him, and the Bills decided that they were going to cut ties with him. And around 3 months before that, Cyrus goes and he injures his hip in his house. And because of this, he's not going to be back for for minicamp, which is around now. He's going to be back for training camp, the rumor is. And, hip injuries, it's sort of like the whole TJ Lang thing. Not much different. I gotta say, guys, I like what the Lions did here. These guys are not going to become Pro Bowlers. Don't go and think that Greg Robinson is just suddenly going to go and just become the player that he never was in Los Angeles. That's not happening. Don't expect crazy things. He may be a second overall pick, but there's a reason he failed. But there is a chance that Greg Robinson becomes a decent rotational player and that he can fill in for the 6 or 7 games that Taylor's going to miss. He might go in there, step in, and be half decent. What else can we expect of him, really? Your starting left tackle goes down, it's not going to be pretty. So, here's your options. You got these two guys, and Cyrus, if he has to fill in, he proved he could. He has to stay healthy. He had a hard time with that throughout his career, part of the reason why he hasn't really been the player he could have been. But there's no doubting that both these guys, at one point in their careers, had a lot of potential, and they're both very young players. They can still flip the script. They say that a player needs 3 years generally before you know if they're a bust or not. They've had that. They're both considered pretty much bust. Greg Robinson even more, he's considered a bust. But if we're willing to go out and give DJ Hayden a shot, then you got to be willing to go out and give Greg Robinson a shot as well. It's the same scenario, really. They both just weren't very good. Well, DJ Hayden was injuries, but he also just wasn't very good. If the Lions staff is that good, maybe they can pull one out. I mean, this is what the Patriots do. They trade for other teams' busts and they make them good. If that's what the Lions are trying to model after with Quinn, then that's what they're going to do. They're going to go out and they're going to make these guys good, or at least role players. They're paying Greg Robinson a lot of money. I think they owe him around $3 million guaranteed or something. So they're not cutting him. You know, if he ends up being bad, it doesn't matter. The guy's in luck because he's not getting cut. He's a guaranteed lock to make the roster at this point. The only one who I'd say is probably a question is maybe Cyrus Kouangio. I think the chances are he'll at least push Greg Robinson for that spot. By the way, I don't know if you guys realize, but there's going to be 3 Robinsons on this team. Unless I'm forgetting about one, because there's going to be Ashawn Robinson, Corey Robinson, and Greg Robinson. That's besides the fact. I just noticed it. They're going to have a lot of tackles because they're not going to be sticking Taylor Decker on injured reserve. So, I don't know. It's hard to say what we can expect. I think today was an interesting set of moves. Of course, also there's Jimmy Landis, but not much exciting about that. Can't really say much about that move. I was never a fan of picking a long snapper in the 6th round. Because what's his job really? To just throw the ball behind his legs. Great. So what? They had Muehlbach. They didn't need to do that at the time. They wasted a 6th round pick. Threw it out the window. Only the Lions could go and spend a 6th round pick on a friggin' long snapper and have him be a bust. A long snapper, guys. A fucking long snapper. And the guy does absolutely nothing in his career. He doesn't play one game. It was a 6th round pick, not too much to get worried about, but still, a 6th round pick. Why do you have to spend one that high on a long snapper? Maybe you wait till the 7th, but I just thought that was a waste. Anyways, guys, to the next video. Peace.